So I was just thinking about something. When we can all understand when we're interacting with somebody, anybody, a group of people, individual, we are engaged sensory to some extent, right? Typically visually and audibly. Um, we can all understand that much. But some of us out here are also engaged in different sensory aspects that are a lot more abstract. And how do you begin to describe that to people and explain that to people who, not that they have a hard time thinking outside of themselves, but it's so abstract and not often talked about? How do we, it's a tricky thing to try and explain to people. So a lot of us don't try to explain it to people, and we subdue a part of ourselves around, you know, the majority of people we're around, especially in like working environments. But I guess I'm just saying this to connect to the people that do understand what I'm saying, but also to people who don't, are typically just engaged on the visual and audible sensory uh, spectrum when interacting with somebody. Um, some of us see in different ways, like when people say, they see an aura or something. Yes, it can be a visual thing, but it's also deeper than that. And it's almost hard for even the people who experience it to explain. Um, but, if everything is a field of energy, field of information, and some of us are just attuned to different octaves of that spectrum, you could say. Like, for example, my landlord has a speaker that's puts off a frequency to keep mice away. It's supposed to be out of human hearing range. I was sitting in his kitchen one day, and I was hearing this high pitched sound, like wicked high pitched sound the whole time. And I finally said, I'm like, John, what the hell is that sound? And he's like, you can hear that? And he looks at the speaker. I'm like, you can't hear that? Like, what do you mean? And he's like, that's supposed to be out of, audible range. So that's just an example that it's, but we can all tune into different layers of this too. Know that you can